Thanks to the folks at Pediatric Home Service.
Perfect time to donate. Right now, getting ready for work. Pick up the phone, give us a call, 414-337-9554, or text. It's even easier. Text WKLH to 51555 and make your donation now while it's being doubled.
Our next guests joining us, we heard Megan Struve talk about them briefly, and it's Mike and Mary who are in charge of the volunteer system here. And welcome to the show, and welcome to Children's.
Great to be here.
It's great to see you guys, but we're not in charge. We're just the volunteers.
That's okay. It's community support that makes everything here kind of happen at Children, other than obviously the medical part. But the volunteers make it possible to bring smiles to children's faces when they need it most. Now, Mary, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about your background story and what made you want to volunteer.
My story goes back over 40 years ago. My son was born premature and was in the NICU for 31 days. And at that time, Children's was in a different location, and it was one big room. All those sick little babies were in one room together. And being a teacher, I was able to come every day to be at my son's side. But I noticed that other babies sometimes had people there, sometimes didn't. And I also noticed that the nurses could have used a little help with some of those crying little babies. And I said, you know what, when I retire, I'm going to give back, because they all work so hard for my son, and he's healthy and strong and a grown man now. And so when I retired, that's what I started doing, was working in the NICU.
A friend of mine was in the NICU during those days as a nurse in that previous location you just mentioned. Talk about the growth between those days in that single building, in that single room, to what we now enjoy.
Well, even over the 8 years I've been volunteering, it's changed. When I first started, after I retired, we were in little cubicles, but like only a sheet was between us. And now parents have their own room where they can be with their child. Sometimes extended family is there too, but we have the privacy of closing those doors and giving them that time, that special time that they need with their baby. The other thing that's really changed is not every parent can be here with their child. That baby is born and they might have other kids at home. It might be a long commute to come and see that baby, or they're saving their family leave time so that when the baby comes home, they can be there with that baby. And so nobody's there holding the baby, but somebody donated cameras, and every little baby can be watched at home or at work or wherever that parent is. And that is so comforting to be able to at least see your baby. And if your baby's not in that isolate or cubicle, that means that somebody's holding that baby, like a volunteer.
All right, and then Mike, let's meet Mike here, another volunteer. You were also an educator, and what is your background story? What made you want to become a volunteer?
Being with kids for 45 years and having healthy children myself, and finding kids who come to school with onset diabetes, working closely with Children's on a school plan that would align with what Children's was doing when they're in the hospital. That brought the connection. And then Mary and I crossed paths in various ways, and she threw out the idea about, if you want to, as she said, give back some more, come down to Children's. So I went to a volunteer recognition dinner as a crasher, and found out more. And since 6 years ago, I've been every Wednesday and other days I've been here.
Okay, what exactly do you do when you come, both of you?
I work in the NICU for 2 hours on Wednesdays, and then I'm on an unneeded basis. So for instance, when there's a party, Child Life is organizing a state fair event, or we passed out Christmas trees, we have done the Halloween event. They set up the lobby, and all the children who can make it come and participate. And then our job is to take up food and gifts and crafts and things to the children upstairs who can't make it. And that's been, that's throughout the whole year. And then when I was working in donations, Christmas time, we get hundreds of toys. And Mike and I help organize the toys at Child Life and distribute them to the kids. But then I noticed there were piles of books, and so once a month now we distribute the books throughout the hospital to different clinic areas. And for some of the kids, it's a bonus. It's if they're good at their appointment, they get to take that book home. And as educators, we're excited decided to put literacy in the hands of kids. So we keep all of our friends and people who know us, we say, donate books, donate books. So that helps the hospital too.
Mike and Mary are dedicated volunteers serving underneath Megan Hughes, the manager of volunteer services. And what about folks listening in right now who might want to volunteer contributions to this effort? Why is it important that those contributions come in? Mike?
I call Children's Hospital the safe harbor, and for those families out there with healthy children, to recognize that's a gift, and if you can contribute as a thank you for having healthy children and allow others to take advantage of what Children's has to offer, it would be a magnificent effort.
Don't sit by the phone. You can call 414-337-WKLH, or you can simply text WKLH to 51555.
Yeah, you're helping the kids, right? It's all about the kids, and you guys are perfect shining examples of the kind of heart and soul that really helps children operate, right? I mean, we know all about the medical stuff, but this is the stuff that people just don't think about and couldn't happen without your donations or without volunteers like the two of you. So thank you so much, and you want to put a plea out there to those listening to
Yes.
donate and to volunteer their time?
It is a team effort here. We work together for everything the kids need, whether it be a donation, your time, your talent, whatever you can contribute. We need you here at Children's Hospital.
All right, don't forget, if you make a contribution this hour, your contribution will be doubled thanks to the folks at Pediatric Home Service. They are our Hour Burst sponsor for this hour as we continue the Miracle Marathon presented by Mars Family Foundation with Milwaukee's Hometown Morning Show on 96.5 WKLH.